It's our reality, our real people, real life situation. What's up with today's letter?
All right. Dear Sam, why should I help my mother in her last stage of throat cancer? My mother is a lifelong chewer, drinker, and smoker. She doesn't just smoke cigarettes, she smokes cigars and pipes. She wakes up every morning chewing tobacco and washes it down with gin.
Damn.
She smokes a pipe afterwards. For lunch and dinner, she smokes with wine and rum. This has been going on for about 18 years. I'm 22, and my earliest memories is of her drinking, chewing, and smoking. Right after I graduated from high school, she was diagnosed with throat cancer. For a while, my father, brother, sister, and I tried to take care of her. It worked for about 6 months. She was following doctor's orders and she even stopped smoking and chewing. Then she started again. My father gave her an ultimatum of quit drinking, smoking, and chewing, or she loses him and my brother forever. I was already 18 and my sister was 20. My brother was 15 at the time. My father took my brother and divorced my mom. For the longest time, I was mad at him until I saw my sister cry because our mother pulled some of her hair out for not giving her some wine.
Mm.
I was immediately done with my mother and went to live with my boyfriend. I'm a bisexual man. Oh, okay. None of us have helped mom since then. At least that's what I thought. 6 months ago, my sister and brother started helping her because her brother, our uncle, ended up getting sick and now is in need of care himself. I told him I will help him, but I can't help my mother. She wouldn't stop her habits and pulled my sister's hair, making her cry. He told me he understands, but that she did stop chewing and smoking last year. I was unmoved. Then my sister called me to help because our mom has stage 4 throat cancer and wants to reconnect and reconcile. I told her I won't. She chose her addiction over her family. I told her that if we weren't important enough to stop, I won't help her now. There's tons of free programs she could have gone to if that was the case, but she chose her addiction. Since then, I've been called evil and heartless for abandoning my mom in her last days. I can't go through that again. She was too demanding and got violent when she couldn't get her way. Why should I help her? I don't care about her being my only mother. Yikes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I know it hurts. It hurts. You're going through. You're hurting
Yeah.
because you feel like your mom's didn't. She wasn't taking care of herself to be here, and and you're watching her go through this. So it's not only just her; it's you going through it as well.
Yeah.
I would pray to give you some strength, man. I mean, I'm literally like God, give this gentleman some strength
Yeah.
because you still need to be there in your last days of your mother. You need to honor your mother, honor your parents. It's tough. I know you cringe. It's tough. It doesn't say that they have to be this perfect parent. Doesn't say that they got to have it all together. You still, I mean, it's her last days. Okay, at least that's what the doctor's saying.
I know, but there's this thing where people feel like you're supposed to do certain things as a child, but what about the things that are supposed to be done, for you as a child? If you have a parent that's addicted to drugs, alcohol, or whatever, you have to mourn your own childhood. You didn't get the guidance that you were supposed to get growing up. So, I mean, I do get it. I do get the hurt that this young man is carrying around. So it's rough when you just say, okay, you're supposed to do this or you're supposed to do that because mom didn't do what she was supposed to do.
You can do whatever the hell you want to,
Yeah.
but what I can tell you, what you might deal with, is when she get out of here, the guilt you might face guilt that you wasn't there her last days to see her up out of here. Like people, no one has no one's perfect. Your parents are not perfect. Okay, your parents are going to make mistakes. Some made horrible mistakes,
Yeah.
but this is the last. It could be the last day, stage 4, and you just don't want to be around a period. Again, you have the right.
Yeah.
You asking me my opinion. My opinion is, try to be there as much as you can. to see, I know it hurts. You going through it. Look, my mom took care. She didn't when she was sick. I still had to be there. I still
Yeah.
was there. It was a lot to see. It hurts to see any loved one going through a transition to get ready to die.
Yeah.
It's not a there's not a perfect or a manual that says do it like this and then you got to do it like that.
Right.
I'm giving you my opinion. If you can live with not being there in her last days, then go ahead and do how you feel makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But to me, I think that you should make that attempt. Her days are, according to the doctor, are they counting down, and we want to know what y'all got to say. 5780931 5780931, because that's a lot.
It is. It
It
is.
is. Let's take your calls right now. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to read the comment section. What do y'all think? And that's a lot.
Yeah.
I get it. You watched her tear her body up.
And really tear the family apart.
Yeah.
The parents got divorced. The kids were without their mom,
Yeah.
without that guidance, and now he's being told what he's supposed to do when he didn't get that same courtesy.
Yeah, yeah, but you can't. You always can't do that. It's hard. I'm just keeping it real. That's rough. That's a rough one. But you can't do just because somebody did to you. Just because your mama didn't do what you think she ought to did, don't mean that. All right, you on your own. So go ahead. You could start something new and different. You don't have to do and give what you got from her.
Maybe I would need some counseling or something because I understand what he's saying.
I get it, but
Because she
again,
didn't just become his parent when she was dying.
No.
He was looking to her to be his parent long before
let me tell you
this
something.
moment.
As long as there's life, there's hope. And if you could have peace at that right when somebody getting ready to get up out of here, you can get that peace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. That's what you want, that peace. You did the best that you can do. You can't hold that because mama didn't and this and that. How do I know that? I had to get over stuff like that with my own man.
Well, when your parents are addicted, you end up mourning them way before
they get out of here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, y'all call and help us out. Yeah, help out on this one. Welcome to the show. What you got to say about it?
Hey, man, this is how I feel. You only got one parent as far as mom and dad and his parents. And, yeah, there's going to be things that hurt you, but, the bigger and better thing is to be there for them. If he was in that situation, no matter what he did to his mom or dad, he would want them. I mean, like you said, he's gonna regret that if he doesn't, be there for her. Just like I give you a prime example with my son and me. My son and I got into a confrontation, and he started disrespecting me.
Mm-hmm.
And I stepped to him. I said, son, if you disrespect me one more time, I'm going to slap the taste out your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So as I stepped to him, he pulls out a gun on me and say, oh, I will shoot you in blankety blank face. I said, I tell you what, son, you and your gun live your life. I say, but just know you lost your dad because you was disrespectful and I checked you. I said, now, if you got the balls to be disrespectful, you should have the balls to be a man enough to get your face smacked for coming at your dad like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for him and his mom, I mean, yes, she's going through something. She's going through an emotional twist. And yes, that's what it's called, addiction. It's hard to get rid of. It's hard to deal with. That's why it's called an addiction. But if he don't be a part of his mom's life, he's going to regret it later in life. And I like to get at man that to think about. There are people that, have dealt with worse from their parents and still was there for their parents because that's love. I mean, if you ain't got that love and bond for your mom, then who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you said, kids don't come with a instruction booklet, and neither do parents. We are human, and we make mistakes.
All right, good stuff, man. Thanks a lot. Welcome to the show. What you got to say?
Hey.
Hey.
I never said I did. How are you? I want to respond to the guy about his mom.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so the first thing, as a person in recovery, no one chooses to be an alcoholic or an addict. Number two, at the end of her life and at the end of his life, the thing is, uh, hurt people hurt people. So sure, he's hurt, and his behavior, whether she's an alcoholic, an addict, or whether she was just a mean person, why return evil with evil? That's his mama. You only get one mama. So love what the Bible says, or a Christian, love your mother for the rest of her days.
All right, appreciate your call. Welcome to the show. What you got to say?
Hi, yes, I wanted to comment about the young man having issues with forgiving his mom and her addiction on her last days of living.
Yeah.
First of all, and I'm trying not to get emotional and choked up because I just recently lost my mom, and it's been almost about 2 years. But we grew up in the 80s when crack hit those homes, and we were affected to children.
Mm-hmm.
No one came to the children. They focused in on the adults and the drug dealers. But the children was forgotten. And growing up in that was not a pretty scene for none of the children. Over time, my siblings and I, it was 7 of us, we resented our mom for a very long time. But by the time I turned 23 and 24 and going through college and understanding what addiction meant, it's a battle. It's a battle. I've never been on drugs. I never used it because my mom will always tell us, use me as an example of how not to be and what not to become. My mother used drugs for over 40 years of my life. Even on her deathbed, battling stage 4 cancer, she tried to quit then. The addiction was too strong. She tried. She went through the classes. She went through the programs. We went through it all. And this young man needs to understand that unless he has an addiction, unless he walked through that path of that mother, he doesn't even know what drives her to the drug. She could have been sexually abused like my mother was. And that's what kept her calm, kept her away from those realities. He does not know the shoes in which she's walking in. A mother, you genuinely love your children unconditionally. A child got their hair pulled. We don't know the full story of why that child got her hair pulled. She could have got smart. Should have had a little mouthy mouth on her. Probably lost respect to the mother because of the addiction. A lot of people do that. They feel that the parent should be honored because the parent is on drugs, and therefore I don't have to respect you. I've seen it. I grew up in it. I watched it. So as a witness of all these different things that this young boy is going through, my advice, forgive his mother, set all her wrongdoing aside, and let God handle it. Let God have the final say, not him, because once she's gone, you don't get her back. You can't say I'm sorry. You can't no longer say you're saying that on deaf ears. She's not going to hear it no more. You can't hug her. It's like it's like the most uplifting thing to tell your mom, I forgive you, because I'm sure she asked many times. Okay, and so my message to this young man is forgive his mother, love his mother, help her. Go get that orange juice she might want. Go get her last ice cream and desserts that she chooses to have. Get them for her. Because growing up, you don't know what your mother did to even get you to where you are. They don't have an idea. I went through it personally. That's my message. Tell that young man to please forgive his mother. I forgave mine at 23 and I'm almost 50. I love my mother. I'm still mourning her death. Her wrong is her wrong. He don't know his path. She can die right now and go end up on drugs and go through the same cycle. Right? So that's
All right.
my message.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right. Yeah, we hit home to a lot of folks today.
Yeah. It's just frustrating that, the kids are, made to feel responsible for the forgiveness for, you know, usually the child of an addict has to forgive at many, many times during that relationship. You don't understand what the child of an addict goes through all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're constantly forgiving. You're constantly trying to figure out what that relationship is supposed
Mm-hmm.
to be, and to put the responsibility on him, I just think that's unfair.
Everybody has to feel good about their decision. Some people can be fine with their mother or father dying and them not being there, and like that was your fault. that's how some people can.
It's not even a fault. It's not even like I'm mad at you for having an addiction, because at some point, when you get older, you realize that it is an addiction. They can't control it, but you've had to try to heal many, many times throughout the whole situation. So, this isn't about a mad thing. This is the boundaries that you had to put up as a child of an addict that you had to constantly overcome, and people don't know what the child of an addict goes through.
All right. What y'all got to say about it? Are you okay? Should he just leave his mom's there? Like, hey, you put me through it, and I can't take it no more. I can't watch it. What do y'all got to say? Leave your comments right here on my page, 5780931ZAK.